Okay, sounds good.
So it's going to take a while, and I might have to get another computer to share it on Twitter, or should I not? What do you think?
Well, I don't see why you can't share it on Twitter. I could share it too, like if you want me to, and it's up to you, whatever you feel is best.
Oh, okay. Are you logged into Twitter right now? Because if you are, I just will let you.
Yeah, I just have to log in. Like I thought I was, but sometimes I get logged out. Let's check. I'm actually still logged into Twitter. And it's the first time I've logged into Twitter in a long time. And I'm like, why haven't I been using you, Twitter? I kind of miss you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, this is not one of those videos that my mother has to see right away because she's not that interested in viral videos.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, but you are her daughter and she may be interested in what you have to say. And there are people that are interested in viral videos and they might be interested.
Yeah. And this is one of the things about viral videos. They're not usually the videos that your family likes the most, are they?
Not in my case, because it's on a channel that nobody really likes at all, which is fine.
But, somebody likes that.
Oh, no, a lot of people love my channel. Like I have a lot of viewers. It's not that people in general don't like it. It's just my family. Let me just put it that way. My family doesn't care for that channel, but they love a different channel that I do because everybody has interest. That's it.
Yeah, so my mother loves all my channels, but she doesn't love my viral video, she just doesn't. So one of the misconceptions is that you should listen to your family about which video is going to go viral. That's definitely not going to help you.
Okay, so I'm looking to see, I thought it was on the secondary ICAST channel with the black and white photograph.
Yes, am I not there?
I'm gonna check again because it's just not appearing. Maybe I'm just not seeing it yet.
Okay, all right, hold on. Yeah, maybe I need to change the description. I forgot about changing the description. So because the description says health or something like that. But so I'm just gonna write how to get a viral video in the description. And then I'm just going to delete everything else. I'm going to backspace it to make sure that we don't have something else. And I'm saving it. And let's see. Let's see what okay, so painting and art and mental health are not our tags here, but our tags are going to be viral. Thanks. Hold on. Viral video, YouTube, and earning. How about that? I'm saving it. You want to refresh?
I'm gonna refresh the live stream page a few times because it's probably just taking its time and it's not showing up as of yet. Try it again.
So while you're waiting, I guess I could talk a little bit.
Of course, yeah, please do.
Okay, hold on. All right, so, when you start a YouTube channel, right now, years ago, when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't have any advice about it at all because nobody thought anything of it. And starting the YouTube channel was a way that I could upload videos of Project Bow. And those were very serious videos, which I was adding to an article. So in those days, nobody gave advice. But the funny thing is, that now that YouTube is a thing and there are YouTube stars, they're called YouTubers and they're called social influencers, or what else are they called?
They're called social influencers, you know, YouTube stars, content creators. I've heard those particular.
Yeah, content creators. Yeah. So now everybody who doesn't even have a YouTube channel thinks that they know all about that and they know what you need to do in order to succeed on YouTube, and they will give you advice. So let me share some of the misconceptions that other people gave me as advice before I got my first viral video. So one of the things that they will tell you is, well, obviously you have to get a top-notch camera, you know, with all the whistles, you know, that does everything. You need to have the very best computer that is available. You have to edit your videos until they're gorgeous. They need to look exactly like the videos of, well, you know, the biggest stars. And all of those are misconceptions. That's not true. When I got my first viral video, it was not hardly, I mean, you know, the editing was the kind that you make.
Yeah, that comes with the computer, right? It's like
right, exactly. And it was not, so I would say unedited, you know, and it was not long. That's another thing they sometimes say, oh, put it together and make it last and all that. It was not long. It was not anything. I'm going to have to look here at what's written here, but you go ahead and talk on this topic too, okay?
Okay, so the reason I'm not saying much is I'm still trying to share it in a couple spots, but I guess what I will say is I've heard like mixed things. I've heard the slickly edited video. Then some people say, oh, you need to have like a 15 to 20-minute video. But then other people say, no, you don't want to have too many long videos because then other people will lose interest in your video and you need to have a shorter video. So it's kind of like I hear contradictory things. You know what I'm saying? Like they say one thing, but then they say another thing. But then this is my take on it. I've seen people like you can be an influencer and you can just upload a vertical video on a basic camera, or it can just be something like, let's say it was a historic event, like something that was historic happening, like that would never happen again. And somebody just happens to be in that place at that time with a cell phone camera. They could have a viral video because they uploaded that footage, and they're not going to have some beautifully edited video of, like, let's say a car chase. That could become a viral video. Or I don't know, like the one where the kid bites the other kid's finger, filmed on a very basic camera circa 2008. There's a lot of videos that are viral that are filmed on low budget cameras, old school cameras, you know, just of the moment, that were not highly edited. So I don't know if I agree with how it always has to be beautifully and highly edited. You know, I don't think all viral videos are that. Do you, Aya?
No, I don't think that they are at all. So the video that you have that goes viral is not necessarily the video that your mom likes the most. It is not necessarily the video that your best friend likes the most. It is not the video that your daughter likes the most. You know, it is something that appeals to someone or to a large group of people, and it's very unexpected sometimes.
Yeah, it's not what you would think it was. Well, here's an example. For years, I loved art. I loved drawing, and that's what I wanted to post. And I love food, and I would post those things. And with the art ones, I would spend like a long time drawing something and then posting. Like the video might not take as long, but I'd put a lot of time into the project. And then one day, I just thought, I'm tired of women, other women, telling me as a woman I can't have long hair, or just making like disses about it, or kind of putting me down. Now that I think back, I don't know why I cared, but I make a video about that, and all of a sudden people who never watched my channel before are interested, and I get like 1,000 views without doing anything. And that could just be a simple video talking to the camera saying, I like having long hair. And that's when I started having viral videos, when I started posting about like just hair. for me.
Right.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't think my family cares about that sort of thing or my friends. I mean, it's just something that was more of a general interest, I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead and keep talking because I have.
Okay, so like for me, like my viral videos were not the videos like that I have edited some of them. Like my one viral video, I will say I edited it, but it's not like, okay, it's not following the kind of advice that I got from like the gurus where they say you have to spend days. Like I've heard people say you have to spend like 2 days editing a video and you can't sleep and you can't eat and it has to have the most highly edited software. But the software that I use, it's more like honestly, it's a lower range. I finally bought video editing software, and the only reason I did that is because they were taking away the YouTube editing program, which I was perfectly happy with. And I used to do a lot of things with the YouTube editor, and I could no longer have the Microsoft editor on Windows 8. So I bought Movie Studio 14. It's like $49 as a download. It's a very basic movie editor. And I did some research and I did like a hair video where part of it's in slow motion. It took a couple hours, but it certainly didn't take 2 days. And that video is very edited. And yes, it got a lot of views. But then I have another video that's just a live stream where I was brushing my hair. That's my second most highly viewed video. It's not viral, but it has quite a few views. It has about 87,000 views, which is a lot, you know, it's not nothing to frown upon, but it was a live stream where I was brushing my hair and it just happened that it like something about the thumbnail that captured it, I think just really captured people's attention because I was wearing like this blue dress that I really loved. And by the way, I have to fix that dress because I got a stain on it and it was such a beautiful dress. And I've been trying to dye it back. But yeah, it was just something about what I was wearing, like the contrast with my hair. And I think it was just very visually beautiful. But I didn't edit that. It just happened to be something in the moment because I like to wear certain types of fashion and it went well with my hair. And it just captured people's attention. So I don't think every video that you set out to create is going to necessarily be like a viral video. Like, okay, I know like the young people are like, oh my gosh, I have to delete this. Like, I think there's this perfectionism that I don't think that's going to guarantee you get more views or better videos. Like, look, I'm perfectionistic about some things, like about art. I do take my time on it, but the amount of perfectionism that's encouraged in the video editing process is not going to guarantee that that makes a viral video for you. It's actually sometimes quite the opposite for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have worked really hard on editing some videos and gotten nothing, absolutely nothing on that. And then, you know, something that I put slapdash together, that goes viral.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it just depends. I think it's just it's something about the day, the energy, what people are looking for that day, and you can't predict it. Like you're never gonna be able to predict these things.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah. So I'm sorry that I had to walk out because today is the day when all sorts of things are happening. So did I miss anything? Do we have any comments or questions?
No, because I was still trying to share it. I'll have to go look and see because I just wanted to share this and one more thing, but I haven't seen any comments as of yet. Like there is a couple of people watching, but nobody's commenting. I just wanted to share this in one more.
Well, okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the marketplace while you're sharing. Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing as if you were told, well, if you want to have a middle class life, then you have to go to college and you have to get a degree and then you'll get a job and then this will happen and then that happens. Well, people know now that it really depends. The value of a college degree, it depends on how many other people have a college degree. If everybody has a college degree, then the value of the college degree goes down. So anything that you have to offer on the marketplace to other people has to be something that there's a demand for, and also that there's not too much supply of.
Of course, yeah, because it's all about supply and demand, correct?
Yes. So I think that's what we're finding out with YouTube videos. It's, I could not tell you that you need to do what I did or that you need to do what Julia did because your situation is different and nobody can tell you what it is that you have to offer that is going to become viral. But it's something that is probably unique to you or at least something that's very unusual and not that many people have to offer, and also that there is a huge demand for, and we don't always know what there's a demand for.
We don't. Actually, I think sometimes when something's just so unusual to the average person perusing the internet, they're going to be like, oh, like most people probably don't know anything about chimpanzees, and that's why they're going to be like very fascinated by Bo. Most people don't have really long hair. It's going to be something that I think just captures, like they'll be like, oh, what is that? And it just grabs their attention at that time, right?
Right. And it may or may not be what you think is unique about you. That's another thing. I thought I had a lot to offer in a lot of different areas, but they chose something that was oblique to what I thought I was offering. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you definitely do have a lot of things to offer in many different areas, but it's based on visuals. So people that are looking for something visual to look at, like a visual medium such as YouTube, they're not really honing in on those particular things like your academic research and things of that nature.
Well, yeah, that's true, but it's not just visual. It's something that catches their imagination, and I would never have guessed in a million years that it would be this,
Mm-hmm.
And, in your case, you have credentials as well. You know a lot about history, you know a lot about art, um, and you have beautiful hair. But, you who would have known that your beautiful hair would be the thing,
I didn't think it would be the thing. And the interesting thing is, the long hair thing, it kind of just came together for me because when I was younger, I had longer hair, not as long as I do now. But I really struggled with it, and you shouldn't listen to what other people say, but it was other women. So you should cut your hair. You'll be so much more accepted. People will like you better if you cut your hair. Like I heard that so much. So I followed some dumb advice, and then by the end of my late 20s, like I was kind of upset really, because I'm like, why am I doing something that other people think makes me look more attractive, or like it was not making me feel happy. Like I was trying the whole hair salon thing, and I didn't like the smell of the chemicals, like to try different hair dyes or spending all the money to go to the salon. And then I started thinking, well, I just want to grow my hair longer. And then over time, it just kind of happened organically where my hair was on the longer side. I would say maybe to here, bra strap length to mid back length. And then I don't know, when I started making videos just saying like I like having long hair, people started getting more interested, and the more people like commented on how they liked my long hair, it just made me more curious about how long I could grow my hair. So this just kind of happened. I didn't plan for it to happen, but it's funny, it sort of happened out of my interest a little bit, but I never thought I'd have a viral video out of it.
Well, and you do, and you have an amazingly successful one. And, speaking of hair, hair is not my viral video issue, although a lot of people do ask about hair. They ask about whether Bo is interested in my hair, and he's totally not. He's a chimp.
Yeah.
And yeah, but yeah, growing up, I have sort of curly hair, and it was hard to manage. And my mother said, your hair will be so much neater if you just have it short. So I went through that. And actually, curly hair becomes even more curly when you cut it short.
Mm-hmm.
The longer it is, the straighter it is.
That's true, because it weighs it down a bit, right?
Yeah. So I actually always wanted to have long hair too. Mine doesn't grow as long as yours, but I'm happy with it the way it is. And
no, it's very long, and actually your hair is longer than most people. I mean, most people don't really have long hair. The average person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. And I find that it's actually less work to have it long than to try to keep it and maintain a short haircut.
And I'm kind of interested too, like maybe a video you should make, but this is up to you, is your version of the curly girl method, because that's a very trending thing right now. And maybe you have something that you could offer with how you have your hair on the longer side, that this is the way that you manage having curly hair. Because I've seen that in the trending in the hair.
Now, tell me what is the title that you were talking about?
It's the curly girl method. So women with curly hair, such as yourself, like they just share things that they do to manage their hair type. And I've seen different takes on it, but I think you would have a very unique take on it, and you could offer some unique advice.
Yeah, I could. And in fact, my daughter also, I mean, her hair is not as curly as mine, but it's also curlier than she likes. So yeah, that would also be something she could talk about on her channel.
My dad too had curly hair. My hair tends to be more on the wavy than curly side, but when my dad like had longer hair, I guess his hair is about shoulder length now, and you can still see the curliness to it. But when he was younger, he had like very curly hair because he used to wear his hair long and like a ponytail, and it would actually kind of curl the way that women like to use the curling irons to get his hair to curl. Like it did that. Like that's interesting. But he used to, you know, because it was the 70s and he was into long hair. So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. I think there's also a place for men with long hair to do videos about that. So
yeah, but it is the thing, yeah. But with Bo, I was gonna say, I thought it was interesting how he liked to brush himself. I think that is a viral video in the making, because
you know, the thing that I do half the time, you know, half the time my hair is loose, and the other half of the time I just put it up, because if I don't put it up, it gets in the way of the things that I have to do. Well, when Bo was little, you know, and chimpanzee hair does not grow long. You know, it grows, you know, standard length.
Yeah.
In fact, when Sword was little, she used to, you know, when she was really little, she says, I have long hair because I'm a girl, and he has short hair because he's a boy. Yeah, so she didn't really think about the chimp human dimension of things, just boy girl. But anyway, when Bo was little and he saw me doing that, he would try to gather up his hair so he could do that. You know, of course, but it's obviously not that long, although it covers his entire body, but it's not long. It's interesting. I don't know why humans have this long hair that doesn't grow on our body, but just on our head. Do you know?
I've read something about it, evolutionary, like there was something that did mention why we have evolved that way. I would have to find that article again, but there are different things on, you know, Google that you can type in, and it will bring up articles that explain why that's the case and the reasoning behind it. But I'm not a scientist, so I don't think I'm the one to explain that, but there are articles on it.
Yeah, I didn't come prepared to discuss that. What I meant was that when Bo sees me do something, he wants to do it too. So if he sees me brushing my hair, he wants to brush his hair. And of course, he realizes he's got hair here and here, so he starts brushing it everywhere.
That's cute. But what I liked about the video too was like the ASMR, because there was the sounds of the brush and like just watching him, because I'm very fast. Like I never thought I'd be interested in chimpanzees, to be honest with you, because I don't know much about chimpanzees. But watching Bo and just kind of observing him, I love his little gentle face, and I just think it's very interesting to see how he does things and how he decided to brush his hair, and just the sounds. It was very soothing and ASMR like, I just have to say.
Right. And so here's some other misconceptions that were shared with me. For instance, that you need to put your address for Instagram and Facebook and you know, anything you happen to be on, Twitter, your social media. You have to put that at the end of your video or at the beginning of your video, because that's what a professional person does. And that way you'll get a lot more views. What do you think about that?
I don't really like that because, okay, I was told you should add your social media contact to your page, which I've done. But I really, to be honest with you, I haven't gotten much out of that because some people start messaging my Instagram thinking I have a different intention for why I'm sharing that. Like they think I'm using it to date them. Like some people think when I make a long hair video that I'm on the internet because I'm looking for a boyfriend and that they are there at that exact time and that they are destined to be with me. Like I've had people tell me this, unless I don't know what it is, either visa scam, they live abroad, they just want to do, they think I'm dumb, or they just are lonely, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being lonely, but it's like they make this assumption as to why I make videos and to why I have. So that's just been my experience when I have the social media on the hair channel. Now on the other channel, it doesn't really bring me much traffic. It doesn't really do anything for my channel. I think my videos do okay on their own. And by the way, I wanted to mention there's one woman, like she's deleted her Instagram, her Twitter, and her Facebook, and she still has like, I don't know, 200,070 subscribers, and she's doing fine on YouTube without any of those things.
That's another thing. YouTube traffic pretty much stands on its own.
Yeah.
The algorithm will decide whether you're going to get the traffic or not. And, you know, you can't really prop it up from outside. Not much.
And then another thought, maybe people say you need to do this, this, and this because they might have felt like it helped them one time. So they're just kind of guessing because none of us really know like what's going to be viral. We can't anticipate that. So people are just it's kind of like playing a slot machine in a way. Like, oh, that one particular time you pulled the machine and you felt lucky and you got, but you can't really determine that. In a way, it's similar. I'm not saying it's exactly like that. That correlation is not the best, but you can't predict the variables. You can't predict what's going to resonate with people, and you can't predict, like, just because you did A, B, and C like somebody else did, that you will have a viral video too.
Right. And when you do have a viral video, it's not because you did what somebody else did. Actually, the one person who would maybe be able to tell us more about what we can or can't predict would be Nassim Taleb. He has recently, in the last 4 days, uploaded another one of his probability MOOCs videos in which he explains very specific, very technical issues with regard to making bets on investments. And what he did say was, if there's like a 70% chance of making money off an investment and a 30% chance of not losing money on the investment, if you keep it long enough, you will lose it. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is interesting. And another thing about his videos, like I love the content, but some of his videos, they're not like slickly edited. I don't seem to Taleb out with
No.
in a bikini, like, oh hi girl. Like,
no, he's not.
He gets a lot of views because of his content, and people are interested in what he has to say.
Yes, absolutely. He's got a different niche from anybody else on YouTube.
Yeah. But I've heard people, like, that was a thing a few years back, was like people thought, well, if you wore a bikini and you were holding a coconut near the beach, that was going to make your videos viral, which in some ways, yes, it will. Obviously, you're wearing a bikini, but if your videos are boring, you're just standing there wearing a bikini, I don't think people are going to keep watching, you know?
Right.
You have to do something.
Yes, absolutely. So it depends on who you are, what your viral video is going to be. I think posting videos on YouTube for a regular basis is a good idea. And it's a good idea to sort of change them up because you never know what it is that will attract an audience. So I'm not saying don't post videos because you don't know which one will be viral. You still have to post them. But you can't go by any of this advice, especially advice given to you by people who maybe have OCD about, having everything pretty, but on the other hand, are not necessarily.
That's true. And
Yeah.
by the way, to be honest with you, like a couple of our viral videos have more views than some of these people that are obsessed with making everything look really beautiful. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, we have a lot of subscribers too. We may not have like 100,000 each, but between our channels, we're doing pretty good. So I feel like at this point, maybe my advice is just change it up. Do what feels right in the moment, because you can't predict what video is going to be best. And I also think it's not healthy to be that perfectionistic. Like, yes, about art or writing and things like that, but when it comes to making a video, I just don't think it's that healthy to spend 2 days not sleeping, not eating, editing at your computer, or fiscally responsible, like to go buy all this equipment if this isn't going to pan out for you. Like,
Right.
actually,
Yeah.
one of the big YouTubers, she's kind of a minimalist, which I know neither of us are minimalists, but one thing she did say that resonated with me was she's had the same camera since 2013 because it's still a good camera. So she's not going to rush out and buy a brand new $20,000 camera when her camera from 2013 still functions.
Right. So it's good to be frugal. It's good to just use what you've got, certainly until you get rich,
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I don't think it's a good idea to buy lots and lots of ads or to promote
Yeah.
the channel, because,
Your money.
yeah, I mean, we're getting our money from ads. We're getting our money from ads on YouTube. So if we pay for ads on YouTube, we're kind of subtracting that, and it just doesn't make sense. The people, those ads should be paying for us, So for instance, I don't really like Mike Bloomberg, but
Yeah.
he keeps buying ads and they appear on my videos on my main channel.
Mhm.
And I say, great. Hope he goes bankrupt paying for all those ads. And I hope, we get the benefit of it.
I tried the ad thing, and to be honest with you, I don't think I'd do it again because, okay, I'll get some like on Facebook. Actually, I haven't done it on YouTube ever, but I've done it on Facebook because they're always like, you should buy Facebook ads. You shouldn't share like your content on your Facebook wall because nobody cares, but you should buy an ad for it. So I would pay for ads to show my content to new followers, and I'd get a whole bunch of new followers. And then a couple of weeks later, I'm just posting like I regularly do. And some of those people unfollow me because they weren't really interested in my channel. They just followed it because of an ad.
Right. Yeah. No, I was told a funnel thing, and I did try ads for my books, not for my YouTube channel, but to sell my books. And there's this whole idea that you have to have a Facebook page that appeals to your audience. Well, here's one of my problems. I don't know what my audience is. I honestly don't. So, they have this idea, for instance, what someone told me, well, if your audience is science fiction fans, then you have all sorts of stuff about science fiction that doesn't relate to your books, but to science fiction in general. If your books are about romance, you should have all sorts of romantic stuff on there. Well, you know what? I don't fit into any of those categories perfectly. Yeah. And so none of that works for me. And it's better for people to just discover the books than for me to pay for an ad that will get me more followers on a Facebook page, but will not get me more readers.
I've even noticed, okay, like there are people, they have a bestseller, but on Goodreads, they're kind of annoying us, by the way, because look, I liked this one author, I liked one of her books, but I have to be honest, after a while, I didn't want to receive any more messages from her agent saying she's going to do like this live Q&A, or you can get a free book from her if you promote it on your blog. And it was just so much press like releases from her that after a while I felt like, oh, like I liked one of her books, but I wasn't that hard of a fan that I always wanted to hear those messages all the time. I felt like I was just being like marketed to on, on that platform, and it kind of made me not log into Goodreads for a while, to be honest with you, because I get a lot of messages like that. You'll like one book that somebody like they may have been like a bestseller, but then it seems like for the rest of their books they're just pushing it, and I don't know, it kind of turned me off. Like maybe not everybody gets turned off by that, but I don't know.
I don't think that the advertising funnel works for me, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, but I'm also saying too, like, okay, you will have people with a bestseller, but just because somebody had one bestseller, that doesn't mean the rest of their books sold as well. Like, there's this misconception. You know what I'm kind of saying? Like,
yeah, no, that's just like you and I have viral videos, but then we have the videos that aren't viral, and we never know which video will appeal to whom.
No, we don't. And that's the thing, like whichever is the next bestseller, it's exciting to see. Or best video.
Yeah, exactly. So things are changing on YouTube, and things are switching around. What trends on YouTube do you think would be helpful to share with other people?
Like helpful for other people, like things that are trendy on YouTube? That's a good question, because honestly, I haven't looked at the trending page as much. I just follow the topics that I look at. Like I'll look at the food and the hair and sometimes the art. I did see this today though, something that kind of caught my eye. There was this woman just painting circles, pouring paint for a live stream, and she would have like 250 viewers at a time. We're just doing like this little art thing where she's pouring paint.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. But I don't know, she was attracting a lot of views for that.
Yeah, apparently it's an art form to just pour paint. I watched a video like that, but not today, but a while back. They started showing those to me when I started painting more. It's not my thing though.
Yeah, it's not really my thing either. That's why I was going to say it's interesting, but I don't think I'd sit there for an hour watching somebody just pour paint in circles. Or there was this other one that was where they were taking like a chain and they were pouring paint over the chain and moving the chain around. But I did something similar once years ago before YouTube, where they have the photosensitive paper, and for an art history class, like an introductory one, they're like, put the paper outside with objects on it and see like what impression it makes. And it kind of reminds me of that, except that they did this with paint. Like, right. You know, it kind of, I don't know. It's interesting, but it's not my forte, I guess.
Yeah. And I was given some good advice recently, we should do what appeals to us, or what is normal or natural for us to do. So when I sort of noticed the squishy stuff on the trending page, I got interested in that, but I'm not really a squishy fan. So it was probably not the right thing for me to do.
But here's the difference. Like, you did it one time. You were just kind of interested. Like, you just had this passing curiosity about it. Where some people would be like, oh my gosh, that's what everybody's doing. We have to all do that. And then they all pile on. And then they're like, well, why aren't we like making a living? Okay, so some bad advice that people were given. There's a few people on YouTube a few years back. They made money because this was a weird thing. People were eating a whole bunch of bananas. Nobody does that. So people were watching this video because this guy was telling people to like eat a whole bunch of bananas, which is just crazy. And a lot of people watch him because he says really crazy things. But he also told everybody that they should quit their job and become vegan YouTubers, and they'll make a living doing that. So a lot of people got mad because they quit their jobs and they did what he said to do, but he's not like an economic expert, and they all felt they were going to make a lot of money. And then they got mad a year later because they're not really making any money on YouTube doing what he told them to do. But that wasn't guaranteed because it worked for him that it would work for you. Kind of going back to what we were saying earlier.
Exactly. So I actually did have a video way back. I don't think I would consider it viral now because it certainly didn't, it didn't go into the millions. But one of my early, what I thought was a proto viral video was when I I titled a video "How to Eat a Banana," and Bo was just eating a banana. I mean, he peeled the banana his way.
Uh-huh. Which is
So that,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So for a while, that one was doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm not suggesting that all of you do banana videos.
Oh, no. I don't think that you are. I find it funny though when, okay, we have people saying, well, this is working for me and you should all do this. But I kind of think, do what works for you. Like, don't go buy equipment that you can't afford. Don't go like quit your job and like start like traveling around the world, like eating a certain way just because it's worked for one guy, like who already did that and he knew how to do that. And you're not going to know how to do that. And then you're going to be broke. Like, I think you should just do what works for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. And that's why, we can't give you specific advice, but the general advice is if you don't have a YouTube channel, you want to start one. You want to upload sort of regularly. You don't necessarily have to have Wednesdays and Thursdays, I upload this or whatever. Some people do that. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it when the spirit moves you.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose a number of subjects to start out with because you never know what your niche is going to be. You don't get to decide how other people see you. They get to decide what they like about you.
Mm-hmm. That makes good sense. I'll tell you the one thing that we kind of do that I like that is like that works for me and us is like I like that we have that set day that we do the live stream on your
Yes.
other channel at 8:45 Central Time and 6:45 Pacific Time, which people can watch. I like that because that's something that I can hold myself accountable to. And I'm like, this is something that I want to do like forever because I love doing that. But if it were like, I'm going to set a schedule to edit videos and launch them on this specific time and date, I don't think personally I'd want to do that because it would just be me like saying in videos. And honestly, I wouldn't look forward to doing that. So I think like the live stream is another way. Maybe if you have some friends and you want to talk or something, maybe that's a more doable way to have a scheduled
Right.
video.
Yes. I'm glad that we do have that one date that we're not as flexible about. And because that does hold us accountable for that one day.
And I like the way we do it too, because we're just doing it organically. And you know, a lot of very interesting people that we've had as guests, and it's wonderful. But we didn't have to like buy $20,000 camera to do that. And we just did it based on sharing knowledge, like Kate Gladstone. That's amazing. Like that video where she's talking about the evolution of the Hebrew alphabet. I never would have known those things. I learned so much watching that video.
Yeah, that was a fun video. And I hope that it gets the audience that it deserves.
Definitely. Well, I just shared a small snippet of it on my blog because I like to let the video speak for itself. But I really would like people to watch that video and go to Kate's website, and she has a book coming out, and we'll be talking more about that too, which is an exciting topic. That's another thing. I think books like having a viral video about a book could be something that would happen. You never know. You never know
Right.
what will appeal to somebody.
Right. And I think I shared with you that apparently just trying to figure out how to do embroidery by yourself without buying a pattern, that's something that's viral.
That's a really great idea. I mean, I've kind of done that too. I would say back in the day, before my hair channel became the big one, on my secondary channel, one of my most highly viewed videos is how I did like the heart cross stitch. And the way I did it is I have done the embroidery like with the palm tree, but the thing I think that makes it easier with the plastic canvas mesh is it has squares and you can kind of plan it out a little bit yourself on graph paper if you want an idea. And it's a little bit easier. Like if you're not sure if embroidery is something you want to jump into, they always recommend plastic canvas mesh because it takes time, but it's not quite as intensive. You don't need to learn as many stitches. It's a little bit more doable before you jump into more just embroidery. Like are many different kinds. You know what I'm saying? Like you can start somewhere without having to get too deep into it.
Right. And okay, so a different topic is merch. What do you think about merch?
I like merch because we can create something that's like represents something that we do. And if somebody's interested in our brand or channel, they can purchase that and it's there. And it's I like the concept of it. I've sold shirts on Zazzle, not on Teespring as much. Like I do have a Teespring account, but Zazzle has been something that I used to pour a lot of energy into. I just kind of haven't had as much time to do that anymore, but I have sold quite a few things on there.
Yeah, well, I have some of my merch is on Amazon, the Amazon merch. And I do also now have a Teespring account. So those are nice things to have once your channel grows.
And I think maybe people interested, like, well, let's say they're interested in bow. I think they would like that. I think they would like a shirt where they could wear like a bow shirt. You know?
Yeah, and in my case, I like to paint. So I painted those myself, and
they're very nice paintings. I really like them.
Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience on this?
Let's check. Okay, so we've had people watching, but I haven't had anybody commenting as of yet. Like,
okay, let me share this also on my other. I can do this.
Okay.
Should I? Do you think I should share it on?
I mean, you can if you want. That's fine. Maybe that will bring some new. Like I've shared it a few different places, and I see people popping in and out, but I just haven't seen any questions as of yet. But even when we get a lot of viewers, sometimes I'm not always seeing a ton of questions all the time.
Hmm. So I'm going to just say that we're talking about our videos and not.
Okay, sounds good. By the way, I'm going through Twitter and I'm reading some of the old like mentions, and I haven't even looked at those. And oh my gosh, like, okay, Twitter's fun, but I kind of just fell out of disuse of it. And that was another thing I was going to say is you could just be active on YouTube. I don't even think you have to use other social media. Like some people are saying, oh, social media makes them feel like anxious and they don't want to have to personally interact and message everybody. So maybe a YouTube channel would be a good alternative. And here's why. Because sometimes I just like to post something on my blog or YouTube and I can share what I'm doing. And if people are interested, they can comment on it. But it's not as, I don't know, it's not quite as personal as my Facebook page. Because sometimes if I post something I like on Facebook, it might be people I know in my own life. And I don't know, am I always going to want those kind of comments from them on something that I really enjoy? Sometimes it's just easier and it may be public, but it's less detached to put it on YouTube. Because
Right.
People who are interested, they'll find it because they're looking for that too.
Yeah. So the whole thing where they were telling us that we should join Facebook and we should join Twitter and that we should join all these other social media sites that some of them went bankrupt. I don't remember even what all of them were, but do you remember?
Some of them aren't even around anymore. Like I joined one, okay, and I thought, okay, the whole point of it is like they want you to share things. But guess what happened? They deleted my account because they told me I shared too many things. So I don't know. Like you say that you're supposed to share things, but why am I even going to want to post anything on there if I'm not supposed to? And there was another one where you used to be able to just write things, but then I didn't know what the rules were because apparently I got in trouble because I didn't even link to my own website, but I mentioned that I had my own website. And one of the people who ran the website said that wasn't allowed because I mentioned I had a website, even though I didn't link to it, which was really all kinds of weird. So I'm like, okay. And then 3 weeks later, the lady who's running the website, she goes, well, the guy who owns it hasn't been in contact with me for months. And I'm like, oh, that looks really professional. Like, yeah, your site is great. And the whole, you could make money on this social media site, but the whole idea was people were tattling on each other for posting things other people shouldn't post. And I'm like, what is this? Junior high as a social media platform? I don't think so. That one really confused me. And there's just a few others. I'm like, do I love social media? I have a love-hate relationship with social media because I like it sometimes, but other times I'm like, I don't know, because people get in arguments and debates, and then like people blocking. Oh, by the way, I saw an interesting article. But I don't want to get into the politics of it. Without getting into the politics too much, I'll just say this person was like, he's tired of people blocking each other and unfriending each other because he thought some people were bad because of his political views. But then he started talking to people and realizing, well, we're all still people, and you can be friends with people who don't exactly see things like you, and that doesn't mean they're a villain. But
Well, that's true.
Yeah, well, he said in 2016 he thought that he was supposed to block everybody that didn't agree with him because he saw on the news that they told him he was supposed to do that. And I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, so he did something he never thought he'd do. Like, he still has one political view, but he went to, I guess, a political rally for a completely different political view, just so he could see that people that attended that political rally were not evil as the news was trying to make him feel. And that's another thing I was going to say too, is I really love YouTube. Just my personal opinion, because I want to talk about history. I want to talk about culture. I want to talk about other things. I don't want to just watch the means. I know that's not like, it's verboten to say this to some extent. I will read the news, but I don't want to watch it all day because I don't think that that's promoting a variety of interesting things that we can learn about the world. Just my take. Like, I would rather share things that I'm finding on YouTube or just through my own research, like about Magnificent Century. I really like that show, and I might do a vlog about it soon, like watching it, because I haven't done that on my own. But I like it. I enjoy watching it. I don't think I would have found that if I was just watching TV, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think that as long as ordinary people are allowed to compete with the mainstream media on YouTube, YouTube will be a viable platform. If it ever gets to the point where the mainstream media infiltrates YouTube and takes over, then it will need a different platform.
Yeah, it would. But I still feel like right now, I think there's enough interest that people do want to see what other people are doing from around the world. They don't just always want to watch, like if they wanted to watch, I don't know, the Super Bowl halftime game or whatever it was that was on television, they could stream that, or they could just watch those channels. So I think people go to YouTube because they want to watch like a cat video, or they want to watch something about, I don't know, an indigenous tribe in South America. They want to be entertained, or they want to learn something educational that's not what they're going to see in the mainstream all the time. And that's okay. And that's what YouTube was about, actually, when it started, the whole thing of it. That's what the whole idea behind YouTube is, actually. And that's what viral videos are all about. So I'm just saying we need to keep the free market going here in that sense.
Yes, and we get to see things from all over the world. Today, Bo and I watched a video about how to make baozi. Do you know what baozi is?
What is that?
It's this, I'm going to say pastry, but that's not exactly right. It's a pouch that you eat. It's the Chinese make it. Basically, it's made of some kind of a wheat, or anyway, some kind of a dough, and things are put in the middle of it. You know, like it could be vegetables, it could be meat, it could even be something sweet. And it's wrapped up, and then it's not baked, but it's put in a steamer, and it's steamed up, and it's sort of like a steamed bun.
Oh,
have you ever had that?
I've never heard that. Interesting. It sounds good.
Yeah, when I was in Taiwan, I used to eat baozi all the time. And what's funny is, of course, I didn't make it myself. I went to the 7-Eleven and they had it there, and I would buy it. You know, I'd buy, you know, it was about like as big as my hand. And I would, because I had to take the bus to the university, and I would eat it at my desk for breakfast.
Interesting. I've kind of heard though the 7-Elevens, like it's big in like some Asian countries like Japan and Taiwan, and you can find things there that are actually like a meal as opposed to just junk food like at our super like convenience stores. Is that true? Would you say?
Yeah, you can find all sorts of things. I'll tell you what, they even had very authentic looking puppets that were made by somebody and were sold at the 7-Eleven. And I remember when we went to Israel from Taiwan and we're visiting family, I brought a bunch of puppets to bring as gifts. And I got them at the 7-Eleven, but they were authentic. They weren't junk, you know?
That's cool. I always liked 7-Eleven. I haven't been to one in a long time because there's a few in our area, but there aren't as many. And I feel like now there's more other, but when I was young, like that was the one convenience store that we had up in the mountains was 7-Eleven. But then others started coming in. So, and down here there's one, I think, but I just don't go out of my way to go to it. But I don't know, I've seen a variety of things at 7-Eleven. They're very interesting and they seem culturally unique to the places that they're in.
Right. So anyway, today on my, I guess it's my YouTube homepage,
Mm-hmm.
this how to make baozi video came up, and it's a lady who I can't remember. I think she was Swedish or something like that. But she's married to a Chinese guy, and they live in China.
Mm-hmm.
And her mother-in-law was the one who was showing how to make baozi.
Wow. Very cool. So do you think you would try to make it maybe?
I don't know. I think that I'm still on a diet where that's not necessarily the best for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did try something different today. It was interesting. Like, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I got really into it when it happened. Like, we had these Wassa crackers, and they're actually from Germany.
Oh.
We just happened to find them. And then I put them in hummus, and I'm like, oh, this is an interesting combination. It's a very dense, like, meaty cracker. Like, some people probably wouldn't like it. But it was interesting to try. But then I was looking online, like Wassa cracker and hummus, and this is a thing in Germany where they come in pre-packaged, like Wassa crackers with hummus, or Wassa crackers and peanut butter, like peanut butter and crackers here, but with these it was really interesting. I'm like, it's different, it's very dense, but it was interesting to try. I don't know if I tried again though.
Okay, well, it sounds good. But here's the thing about the YouTube homepage. It has changed. It used to be that we all saw exactly the same thing on our homepage, but that's not true anymore. So do you have some insights about what sorts of things will show up on a person's homepage on YouTube?
I've heard that whatever people are searching for on the computer, okay, get this, you can clear, and we know this for a fact, multiple people can be using the same PC, okay? And we clear out the search history, and then you go to YouTube later, and it's going to show you a video like somebody else was searching for at your IP address. And that's what we've been seeing.
Okay.
We're going to be straight up about this. Yeah, but we're using Google Chrome. We're not using DuckDuckGo. So even if we're signed out, something that somebody else was looking at, if they were signed into their YouTube account, when you're signed out, you're not even signed in, is something that's always being shown to us on our homepage. Because I'll be like, what? Why am I seeing this? This is a topic that I have no interest in. And then somebody else who is using the computer will say, oh, I looked at that. And then get this, like somebody that I just happened to be YouTube friends with that was a subscriber to my channel. I subscribed to him. I don't know, like I wasn't even looking for freegans, but a few years back, all of a sudden this video was being recommended to me. And he told me 2 weeks earlier that video had appeared in his feed. So that was one thing I've noticed is things I look for, things that other people look for, things that people are connected to me look for seem to show up in my feed. That's been my experience.
Okay, so maybe that paint pouring thing that you saw, that was because I looked at it about a week ago.
That's kind of what I think too. Like if we do a live stream and we talk about painting and you're talking about painting and it seems that I comment on a video that you made about a topic, all of a sudden I still start seeing live streams. And also too, like I'll see it, like, I don't know, John Campbell, is that somebody that you follow?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I didn't know if it was somebody that was connected to Jordan Peterson or something, but it seems like that's something that's being recommended to me in this particular video. I don't know who John Campbell is, but that's a recommendation.
Okay, I don't know. I would have to look. Maybe I should know, but I don't.
Okay. I was wondering if he's connected to Jordan Peterson in some
well, that could be. I mean, as far as I know, Jordan Peterson is still in rehab.
Okay.
His daughter came on, and he went to Russia to
Oh,
get off the drugs that they put him on in Canada.
well,
So
that's interesting.
yeah, so you know, he was suffering from a certain amount of emotional distress because his wife was diagnosed with cancer. So they gave him
Oh,
something. You know, I wouldn't recommend taking anything, but they gave him something. It was not, it was, you know, he got a prescription for it, but then he became addicted to it and he couldn't get off of it because it was a physical addiction and nobody could help him. And he had to go all the way to Russia to get a treatment.
wow. Well, it's good that he was able to do that, but it's unfortunate that he had to do that. But I hope he gets better.
Yeah, I hope so too. Anyway, that's the latest news about Jordan Peterson that I heard.
So anyway, like if I were just to go to my trending page, just out of curiosity, like my homepage right now, like I'm just gonna click on it because I'm just curious, like what am I gonna see? I see a lot of things about birds that my cat likes to watch. So now
Oh,
my feed is gonna recommend that to me. My cat loves to watch bird TV, so I'm logged in as my cat, and my cat, they think that I want to watch that all the live long day. I've been watching a lot of Magnificent Century, so all of a sudden, like that's gonna be recommended to me a lot. Like I'm gonna get, and then things related, like people just making. I've found some really good videos, like where this person researches more than what you find on Wikipedia, more to say what is the history behind all these characters. Those are pretty interesting. I'm not really interested in how to marry a millionaire, but I follow this lady from the School of Affluence, and what I kind of like about her is that she just talks about like how you can elevate yourself and be more elegant no matter your
I've
social
seen
status.
her. I've seen her. Is she Russian or
You know,
Ukrainian?
she's Swedish by birth.
Oh,
She lived in
okay.
Sweden until she was 18. She went to school in Italy, and then I think she just lives in Switzerland. But she's very interesting because she has her whole social media presence about how you can level up and marry a rich man. And a lot of people didn't like that she went on a British television show and said that. She goes, because I don't want to marry an average Joe. That was her opinion. So they started like nettling her, and she got a lot of bad publicity, and it helped her YouTube channel. Like she got viral videos out of people kind of, I don't know, trashing her opinion on news programs, but it kind of worked for her. And then what else do I see? I see things about long hair. And then I see a lot of things about the election because even though I'm not really interested in the Democratic variety of US politics, a lot of people who use our computer are Democrats. So that gets recommended in my feed, even though I haven't been a registered Democrat since 2016. So I don't know, but it's always popping up in my feed all the time.
Okay.
Scorpion videos. So those seem to be the things in my feed, just to share what's on my trending page at the moment. Or
Okay.
feed.
Well, let me see. Let me see what I have on mine. Okay. So I have our video.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have something about rehoming a parrot,
Mm-hmm.
and that's Marlene McCohen. I have your video about painting palm trees on cell phone cases.
Cool. That's cool.
Uh, and then I have this Chinese lady, um, leads something. She says, grab the tomatoes before they drop and make something delicious.
Huh.
Bo really loves her. He has a crush on her because,
Aw, that's cute.
yeah, she's always making something by hand and cooking, and she's very beautiful. So he really loves her.
Aw, that's sweet. Well, another thing that's been showing up lately, I've noticed in trending and seems to be becoming bigger and bigger is TikTok. And I told you I tried TikTok the other day, and I guess I could share something about my nephew and his girlfriend. Is I guess they have a skateboarding TikTok. I don't think it's viral, but it was kind of interesting. So
Oh,
I didn't get the point of TikTok, but I watched their skateboarding TikTok, and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Like he's a pretty good skateboarder. And I'm like, it would scare me to death. And he broke his shoulder, but he keeps doing it. I'm like,
oh,
oh my gosh. Like, I'm like, really? Do you want to dislocate? Like, he totally but I guess when you're young, like you'll just keep doing, you're invincible. But he's really good and he does all these jumps that really kind of scare me because I'm like, you just dislocated your shoulder a few years ago. Like, I'm scared for you, but you're pretty good at this. But it's risky, but it's interesting, like to watch it. But TikTok is another thing that's trending. But to be honest with you, I don't completely get TikTok because it's people just singing like karaoke to music. But didn't they say we weren't supposed to be using copyrighted music? I don't understand. Is TikTok completely legal? Is my question.
I have no idea. I assumed, okay, I might be wrong, but I assumed that TikTok's thing was that they got licensing from the people who own that music. And that's why you can do that on TikTok, but you cannot do it on YouTube.
See, that's interesting. This is another thing. Okay, I also see a trending video where people are reacting to trending TikTok videos. So if you do like a reaction video on YouTube to a TikTok, like, will your video be demonic? Like, to me, I don't want to do that because like I don't want to play some copyrighted music and then like have my
Well, yeah, but all the reaction videos to trailers, what is the deal with that on YouTube? Because I see a lot of people doing reaction videos to a Disney trailer for a movie that is going to come out. Clearly, they don't have the right to do that, or do they?
I don't think so. And here's another trending thing that makes absolutely no sense to me because I have no interest in this topic and I've never looked this up. It's a night Tom Naughty forever changed the world with bubble entertainment, like where he's blowing bubbles. And I have no clue why that's on my homepage because nobody here is interested in bubbles, or I don't even know who Tom Naughty is. Do you know who he is?
No, I don't. Let me see. I also have trending on my phone. So let me look at this.
Okay.
Okay, stuff that trends on my phone is kind of different from the stuff that trends on my computer. I'm not exactly sure why.
Uh-huh.
So there's something Fox PBC highlights Tyson Fury defeats Deontay Wilder for WBC heavyweight championship. I promise you, I never watch anything like that. Why is that?
Yeah, that's what's trending for me too. I should correct myself. I'm looking at my homepage. When I look at the trending page, I think I'm getting the similar thing that you're getting.
Okay. So the homepage, well, on my homepage is painting palm trees on cell phones, just like on the computer.
Yeah.
Then there's Sharon Osbourne reveals what husband Ozzy thinks of her new gray hair. I have no idea why that's there.
Huh.
Then there's a day in the life of a Japanese game programmer. Well, I sometimes watch Japanese related videos, but I don't know why this. Then we have our viral video, how to get a viral video and common misconceptions. That shows up on my homepage. And then there's a homeless woman died shortly after this interview, and her death could have been avoided. Okay. I don't know if you see that stuff. It's a channel called Invisible People.
I haven't seen that, but what I'm seeing a lot of, okay, I'm finally seeing Swords. I need to watch Swords video because I want to see like why she took a break. I am seeing a lot of hair videos, Greek history, Turkish history, Etruscan history, something about a cat, something about the scorpions, more about hair. Like, I don't know, but this is because I'm on the hair channel. Like, let's say I were to switch to my other channel, just out of curiosity, I'd switch to my other channel that was my first channel. Like, if I look at its trending homepage, I see 1930s fashion. I see profile of abilities in girls, which I don't, from Tony Atwood. I'm on this one, I see even more random things because I'm not logging into this one as much. Things that really aren't related to things like kids give their teachers wild hair makeovers. Well, that's hair related.
Okay.
Here's a video that keeps getting recommended to me: the day in the life of a salary woman in Japan.
Oh, that one, that was recommended to me a while back.
Did you watch that one? Was it interesting?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I thought I might. I do occasionally watch videos about Japan, so that could be why.
Okay, there is like there's actually a Japanese American, like there are a couple. One of them's American. It's been in June, and we kind of like their videos. And sometimes those are in our recommendations. Like I will watch them religiously, but I do like that they're in Japan. I do like to watch some of their cooking videos, and we like to see their cats. So we have watched them occasionally throughout the years, and sometimes they pop up in our recommendations as well. Oh, and then this is another funny thing. Like sometimes we'll watch all those old like how-to videos, which by the way they haven't changed. Like their videos put out like by the government, like how to dress, like
Oh.
they're like all those like they're just funny to watch them in retros.
Oh yeah, like 1950s.
They haven't
How
changed. Oh my gosh, because recently like we had to watch one for work, and it's like the same thing. Like the acting's still very stilted, and it's just scenarios that I don't think would ever happen. Like they're just so dramatized that they're funny. And like, how do you take it seriously? Sometimes I don't know.
Yeah, those are funny. Yeah, I've got another one of those Chinese ones on here. The channel is called Miriam in China,
Mm-hmm.
and this particular one is called Mahua and Yobing Jinghai bread snacks. And basically, it looks like bread, it looks like dough, and they make braids out of it, little braids,
Oh,
and then they fry it. And so it gets very crispy, but it looks like fried braid.
interesting. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the reason is that I like to watch stuff from China, and Bo likes to watch that lady cook. Not this lady, but the other lady. Um, and then there's something about a cell phone of missing Idaho teen Tylee Ryan. And
Okay.
that's CBS this morning. And then there's 6-year-old Angelica Hale sings Let It Go at Broadway Dreams. Well, I do like to watch children sing. So,
Interesting.
and then there's being a single mother in Japan. Okay, those Japanese videos.
Here's
And
another one. Korean in her 70s tries Indian food for the first time. Did you see that one?
no, but it sounds like the sort of thing they would show me, but no, I haven't seen that one.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, but there's a lot anyway. You were talking, I'm sorry.
Okay, and then there's that hiding in my room guy. I'm not subscribed to him or anything, but I do occasionally watch his stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
it says string of countries locking their doors to travelers from South Korea.
Huh. Interesting.
So I don't know why he's interested in that, because I think he's in Japan. At least I thought he was.
Unless he's wanting to move, like, okay, maybe he's becoming more interested in moving to Korea. I don't know. I got Bernie Sanders on the Today Show in 1981, which is so random.
Ah,
Not really following Bernie Sanders. I don't know why, but I guess because he's in the news right now. Debunking fake cooking videos from 2020, which is so random. Like it's only into February, but we already have fake cooking videos in 20. I don't know what that's about. Teeth decomposition time lapse.
oh
That's
my
pretty funny. And here's the hair love one again. It's being recommended to me because I watched a bit of that after somebody had mentioned it to me. Like they said, oh, hair love like won the Academy, the Oscars, and so I looked it up. Ottoman fratricide, which is something it's related to the Ottoman Empire, where okay, the interesting thing I've learned about the Ottoman Empire, it's not like with European dynasties where the eldest son would be the one that would become the heir to the throne. What would happen is you have the father and you have many sons by the different concubines up until Harem Sultana, where basically it was whoever was considered the most viable, the strongest, whoever was loved the most. So different people would have different factions, and whoever became the next sultan would actually, this is the horrible part, would murder his brothers, fratricide, because then once he became the sultan,
all of them, because there would have been a lot of brothers.
Oh, sometimes it could be like between 3 and 19, and it got so out of hand later in the Ottoman Empire that one time one of the sultans like had murdered 19 of his brothers, and the whole city was just shook to the core when I saw the 19 coffins come out. It is a very controversial side of the Ottoman Empire, which I just don't see how you can justify that. Like, and another thing I learned about that I find very problematic, and I don't know how you can say, like, we have to be honest, there may be sides to the Ottoman Empire that aren't as bad as the Romans, but this is a really horrible side of the Ottoman Empire, is if one of the concubines fell out of favor, or one of the sultans fell out of favor, and he was executed, all his children would be strangled to death. Like, and there's videos about that popping up. I'm like, oh my goodness. So a lot of interesting things. Like, I haven't dug that deep into it, but these are just things popping up on my feed anyway. So, yep, that's what I see.
Okay, let me share some of mine. So there's, if you need to know, it's Fathering Autism.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about a family with autism. And then I have 100-year-old and 102-year-old runners break world records. Okay, that's weird. And creating emotional safety. It shows a dog wrapped up in a blanket. Emotional safety, how to improve relationships and communication. So I don't know if it's about dogs or it's about therapy.
Very interesting.
Okay, and then I have why Finland's schools outperform most others across the developed world. Okay, and then there's a flashback from E.T. Watch Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes gush over each other on the set. And again, I don't know why E.T. has to be on here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I haven't even thought about E.T. in a long time. Is it trendy again or something?
Well, apparently they started their own YouTube channel. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Confused.
So when I see stuff like CBS News on my homepage, it's not because I'm interested in CBS News. I think they paid to be there.
Oh, definitely, because people weren't watching CBS or, like, even to be honest with you, CNN. I think people were going to the more online news streams, like, whether you be conservative, liberal, or whatever it is, like libertarian. Like, there were people that kind of had their own independent channels where they were doing that. Now you're seeing the big guys once again, like, pop up on our feed. I was noticing that with Ellen, because I was never a fan of the Ellen show, but all of a sudden, like a couple of years ago, Ellen videos just started popping up on my homepage, and I don't know why. It's probably because more ads, like, they paid to be in those slots.
Yeah, I think so. So then there's something. This is what happened to Mimi from Outdaughtered, and it's the list. I don't watch that. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. Then there's Home Time paintings by Dusan, and it's somebody using a what do you call it? It's not a brush, but it's not a paintbrush, but it's a paint. I don't know, like a spoon kind of thing that you use.
Oh, like a knife, a painting knife?
Yeah, painting knife. I guess that's
palette, like a paint palette, not palette, painting knife.
Palette knife. Yes, that's right. Okay. And then poor dad can't buy birthday cake. Stranger changes his life forever.
Okay. Or was it just a day? Let's be honest. Like, I'm sorry, but
yeah. And then there's caught on camera Molly Balloon giving birth to 53 babies. It's a fish. Fish giving birth.
Interesting.
And then Carmen Goet La Llorona official video. It looks like a music video. Mm-hmm. 6 reasons why you're still single. Okay.
I've looked at stuff like that, but I don't think you look at stuff like that. So it's almost like you're getting recommended things
probably. And then Gordon Buchanan comes face to face with a wolf. Life in the Snow. That's BBC. And then my DNA results revealed, and that is mind bionic. And Yeah, I don't
I do a
usually.
lot of little ancestry research trending. So maybe because I look at that and you are like a friend and we interact, like maybe that's being recommended to you.
Yeah, and then there's Chimps Pick Coconuts, which is Myrtle Beach Safari. And then Egypt opens ancient coffins to find perfectly preserved mummies. And Making a Bowl, the entire pottery process ASMR edition. Oh, there's your cat.
I know, we can be in the channel for a minute. Do you want to be here? Are you scared? Let's see if she's, bye.
Okay, well, I guess it's enough of these trending things.
Oh no, I just said the cat wasn't gonna
Yeah.
say. Did you see she left? I'm just like, I said bye to her because
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't as focused. So anyway, that's those are the things we see. And they're so different, you know. They're each one of them is there for a reason, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get a viral video, it's usually because it was recommended in other people's homepage.
That's true. Like that's what it seems like to me. I'm like, whatever's popping up. There's some really strange things. By the way, I looked at the videos that were recommending my video. One of them was this amazing woman is brushing a field by herself, and she's dressed in a way that I don't really think somebody would be farming. Like I think it was for the video. Okay, the way she's wearing like a really tight dress, like just threshing a field like the old-fashioned way, you know, with a sickle, I guess is what you could call it. It just didn't look very realistic. I think they just did that for a video, but it had like millions, 15 million views.
Was it in the United States or some other country?
I'd have to watch it again, but I believe it might have been in Russia, is what it looked like.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so for something to go viral, there has to be a need for it or a demand for it. It has to be fairly unique, not something that people see all the time or that everybody can provide. And so your viral video is going to be different from everybody else's. Mm-hmm. Some people have a channel in which there's only one video and it's viral, and they make a lot of money from that. And other people have a lot of videos and none of them are viral. And sometimes you have a lot of videos, thousands of videos, and only one or two are viral. And those are the ones that are bringing in the income. And all the other ones, in a way, don't count, you know?
Yeah, they don't. That's just it. Like, it's the ones that do. And you just want that viral video, and you can have it, but it's not going to be the video that you thought would be the viral video. That's it.
Right. Yes. So basically, we don't really control what happens, and it's hard to predict. Now, someday we might have Nassim Taleb on to explain if any of that can be predicted.
I would be interested to see what he has to think about the whole YouTube. Maybe something's in the air and he'll just talk about it tomorrow, because he seems to pick up on things that way.
Well, yeah, who knows? He might be watching right now. And so the question is, are the viral videos like a black swan, totally unpredictable, or what?
I feel like they're a black swan, but that's just my take on it. I could be totally wrong.
Okay. All right. Do we have any comments?
We haven't had any comments yet, but I almost want to put the cat up here and see if she'd stay, but I might get scratched to death, so I don't know if that's a good idea. But I haven't had anybody commenting. I don't know, or seeing anybody commenting is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Was there anything else that you wanted to add or share about this topic?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, are there any other misconceptions that you can think of that you were told, oh, you need to do this?
Well, the big ones are you need really fancy video editing software. I don't have that. I ended up having a viral video with just low-end software. And the only reason I acquired that was because YouTube Video Editor wasn't around anymore, and I was perfectly happy with the YouTube video editor. I thought it did sufficiently well for me. That was a big one. You need a really fancy camera. I have a mid-range camera, but honestly, like, I like that my camera zooms when I take photographs, but when I go to edit video, it's kind of getting like a little pixelated, or it's having some noise in the like. And I think you could do that with an iPhone nowadays. I don't think an iPhone, you can even buy zoom lenses for your iPhone where you can zoom in. Like, you can do a lot of the things that they say you need a special camera for with your phone. So I don't really think you need the special camera, the special video editing software. I don't think you have to be on social media to have a viral video, because I never promoted my viral video on social media at all. Like, do you think? No, I haven't.
Oh, of course not. And neither did I. And,
Of course
you
not.
know,
Yeah.
my biggest viral video was one in which I was just trying to keep going. I had nothing. As far as I was concerned, I had nothing really big to share, but this was what was going on. And so I decided then rather than not upload anything, I would upload that. And that went viral.
I think maybe just when you're doing what you're doing and you're like, well, I'm going to just keep doing this. I think there's just something in the air certain days. Like, there's just a certain energy. Like, I don't want to sound all new agey, because I'm not talking about like woo woo, like, oh, karma, because I don't think that's substantiated. It can be quite different. But I'm just talking about energy. Like, people can pick up on things, and there's something about it that resonates with people in that particular day. And then that's what seems to make the video go viral.
Right. And I don't think that most of the time we're not, in my case anyway, I was not sufficiently introspective to know that that would be of interest to anyone. You know, I really didn't know that.
Definitely not. Like, I would have thought, like, I don't know, just being interested, like, a little bit in learning more about chimpanzee. I would have thought maybe one of your Project Bo videos where you're showing how he was learning the alphabet would have been what would have interested people more than what went viral. Like, but that would have just been my guess, because I thought that video was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes, but the audience is the great mass of humanity from all over the world. And I think this is a good way to get to know our fellow human beings. It really is, because it's not what we think about ourselves, it's what they think about what we have to offer.
That's true. Somebody said that to me one day. They're like, well, it's like what people think about you, or the impression they get of you. And when you have many videos, it can just be whatever it is that resonates with them, I guess. You have to leave it up to your audience, which is the YouTube public. Anybody can be on YouTube. Anybody over the age of 13, because you're not supposed to be here if you're under 13. Just saying.
Right, absolutely. Although sometimes the audience is a cat or a chimpanzee.
Oh no, like, what am I gonna do? I better go get my special thing, because, you know, I don't think Irena's 13 yet. I'm just kidding. She's a cat. Nobody cares.
Well, thankfully, Bo is now 18, so everything should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, though, but the cat, I actually got her to look into the camera. It was quite the big thing for that cat.
Okay, good. You're making progress. It's possible that you have a new star on your hands.
Maybe, I don't know. This cat's a wild card, because sometimes you can pick her up and it'll be fine, but then I don't know. Do I want to be scratched to death? That's my question. Like, I love the cat, but I have certain I can't pick up this cat. Other people can, but not me. I just don't have the trick. And I'm not going to try, because I don't want to be scratched to death today, do I? No.
Well, that's just kind of like I put a video of Summer grooming me, the Quaker parrot, up, and all sorts of people had things to say. You need to trim his beak. You need to preen his, his pin feathers. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I said, well, okay, his beak has recently been trimmed.
Yeah.
And as far as preening his feathers, they're always like, well, you let them groom you, but are you grooming them? Well, he doesn't stay still to be groomed that much. He wants to groom me. What can I say?
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. Just okay. The difference is with the cat. I don't pick up the cat because I've had other cats that I've picked up. I can hold them. Other people want to pick up a cat that scratches. I don't particularly if like I love the cat. I'll let the cat come to me. Like sometimes I'll pick her up like I did earlier, but I have to know she's gonna be okay with it, which is very
Right.
rare. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna force this cat like to be like, hi cat, and be in my arms because I don't want to get scratched. There's other people, they know exactly what to do with a cat like this. And I don't want to pretend that I know what to do. So I just leave that up to the other person who can pick up this cat
Right.
no matter what. And that's not me.
Yeah. I mean, with every animal, you have to find out what the rules are with them. It's not necessarily the rules as with some other cat or some other parrot.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, other people can pick this cat up and can make this cat cuddle with them, but that's just not me. They have a special way with this cat, but I miss a different kind of cat. Like I had this like cat that I raised from a kitten where I could pick it up, I could put it on my shoulder, like Summer can sit on your shoulder, and it would sit there and it was happy. But this is just not that cat.
Well, yeah, maybe it has to do with, you're not always home. So,
Yeah, that's part of it, but it's also too because even though the cat's very sweet and all that, it's a little feral in a way. There's a little bit of a feralness to this cat because the cat was homeless for 2 months, so you
yeah.
just kind of have to know the tricks, and I haven't learned the tricks. That's it. Some people are better at it than me. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Well, every animal has their preference. Every person has their preference, and viral videos are based on the preference of millions of people. And you know what? We're pretty lucky because millions of people have liked certain videos that we put out.
Yes, they have. And guess what? Like, that's exciting. Like, how many people can say they have a viral video? Not everybody. You and I both have had viral videos, and that's pretty rare. It's still pretty rare right now, I would say. Not everybody can say that.
That's true. That's true.
So you should just do what we've done, where we did what we wanted to do, and it happened because it was going to happen that day. And that's the best way you can get a viral video. That's the only advice I have for people.
Okay, sounds good. So, Julia, it's been great talking with you, and we'll do it again very soon.
Sure.
Okay, good night.
Good night.